This year, we're facing a pivotal election. And in this riding, we're taking back our seat. But, thank you, yeah. We're not just stopping there, though. This election is bigger than just this riding. Across the country, we need a strong, visionary leader who will show Canadians that the Liberal Party is the only option to keep Canada moving forward. We've done it before. We're going to do it again. Of course, there is one person that is right for this job, and it is going to get us through these tough times. He's from the prairies. Il est bilingue, and he balances economics and environmental policies and doesn't make it a choice between one or the other. So folks, under Mark's leadership, Winnipeggers and Canadians will have a Prime Minister working hard day in and day out. Together, let's give a friendly Manitoba welcome to the future Prime Minister, Mark Carney!
Hello. Okay. We're going to test out. What's with the acoustics here in Manitoba? All right, I'm going to shout. And I'm going to start with. Okay. Now I'm going to lower it down. Now I'm going to go up. Okay. Who is ready to join me and stand up for Canada? Qui est prêt de se tenir au bout pour le Canada? Qui est prêt pour le Parti libéral de gagner la prochaine élection? Who thinks the Jets are going to win the Stanley Cup? Who knows that Canada is going to kick those American... it's on TV. Saturday night in the Four Nations. We are going to take those Americans and we are going to teach them a lesson. Look, I've had the privilege the last month of going across this great country, meeting with Liberals, meeting with Canadians, and I've heard a few things and listened closely to what's going on and what we need to do. Premièrement, les gens s'inquiètent. Les gens s'inquiètent de la crise du pouvoir d'achat, la crise de logement, pour l'avenir de leurs enfants, pour les jeunes. Ils s'inquiètent de la nécessité d'avoir un équilibre en ce qui concerne l'immigration. Ils s'inquiètent de l'avenir de notre pays dans un monde qui est plus divisé et dangereux. People are worried. They're worried about the cost of living, the housing crisis, the future of their children. They're worried about living in a world that's more divided and dangerous. They're worried about the menaces, the threats of President Trump and the Americans. Now, we're going to do something about all of those. Because we get it, we care, we have a plan, and we're going to put it in place. I think living in a situation, I'll be honest, one of the things that struck me is that people have been confused. Canadians have rightly been confused that their friends and allies have become their neighbors, right? It is bewildering. But there is a reason, I think, why that's happened, and there's a reason why we're going to succeed. And I'm going to spend a minute or two explaining that from my perspective. And life sometimes, it's easier to understand looking backwards. Unfortunately, we have to live it forwards. But if you look backwards at things, some things become clear. And I'm going to say on a personal level, when I look back over my career, and this country has given me many, many things. But when I look back over my career, everything that I have done has helped prepare me for this moment. I was fortunate to grow up on the prairies and have the values that you share. Values of hard work, understanding the importance of community, the importance of tolerance and solidarity in our society. I was fortunate that my province and then my country sent me away to university to study. I was lucky that I worked around the world, understood the world. I was somewhat unfortunate, but in retrospect, fortunate that I had experience managing through some of the biggest crises over the course of the last 20 years, and I've also had experience building economies. We are in a crisis. We are in a crisis not of our own making, but we are in a crisis where the solution is to build this economy. We are in a crisis where the solution is in our hands. Il faut être maître chez nous. We're masters of our own economic destiny, and we're going to take it to them. Now, I said a moment ago, look back over my career, but I want to look back for a moment over why I think this is happening, why America is doing what they're doing, and what it says about Canada and what's at stake. I think that the Americans forgot about the middle class. I think the Americans forgot about the need to provide health care to all their citizens. I think the Americans built a social safety net with enormous holes in it that tens of millions of people fell through. The Americans worshipped at the altar of the market, and the gains were not spread across that society. And now there's a backlash. Now there's a backlash, and that backlash is leading to them pushing out against us. When you think about what's at stake in this ridiculous, insulting comments of the president of what we could be. This is by the way, I view this as the sort of Voldemort of comments. Like, I will not even repeat it, but you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. And what's at stake for us? This country, Canada, this great country, it's a mosaic. I look out at this crowd. It is a mosaic. It is one of our strengths. We have distinct identities as part of a common nationality. America has a melting pot. Where's the place for First Nations in America? Where's the place for a French language in America? Where's the place for healthcare that serves everyone equally in America? There's no place for any of those things because they don't care. America is not Canada. Canada will never, ever, in any way, shape, or form, be part of America. And you know, question then is qu'est-ce qu'on fait? What are we going to do about it? Because if the U.S. follows through with these tariff threats, if we're not able to come to some arrangement, it is going to be a hit to our economy. It's going to be a hit to the Manitoba economy. The great many businesses here, small, medium-sized businesses that people have built up over the years, many of whom export to the United States. And the answer to that, in my view, is that we're going to build. C'est le moment de bâtir l'avenir. And in order to build, we need to do several things. And it's also, many of them are things that we should have been doing anyways, and we need to do anyways to respond to those challenges that Canadians have been facing that I mentioned at the start. And the first thing we need to do is make sure our government works for you. That our government focuses more on getting things done and less on spending money. We need a government that spends less but invests more, causes more investment in our economy. The second thing we need to do, and particularly under this pressure, is to make sure you can keep more of your hard-earned dollars. That the middle class and lower income tax cut, and my government will deliver that as part of a mandate. But that won't be enough. That will not be enough for younger Canadians because they've been knocked sideways by the pandemic. The housing market has left them behind, and the ability to catch up to what I experienced as I grew up is exceptionally difficult. So we will be doing more, my government will do more directly, and you'll hear about this in the coming weeks, to boost the incomes of younger Canadians so they can have the same opportunities that the rest of us have enjoyed. The third thing we need to do is build. Build, baby, build. We are going to build this country. We are going to build homes. We are going to build clean energy. We're going to build the intelligence infrastructure of the future. We are going to build a new economy. And we're going to do it in a way where we have one economy in this country, not 13. Because we are stronger together. We will get more. Oh no, this is good news. So we're not doing this for you. This is good news. We will get more. Just wait till the theme song comes back on. We will get more just from coming together as part of one economy than Trump can ever take away with his tariffs. And when we come together and build that economy, we're going to get some new friends. We're going to renew acquaintance with some old friends around the world. We are going to diversify our trading partners because we have options. We have what the world wants. We have the smartest people. We have the best resources. We don't need the Americans. Yeah. They need us. They need us. And they're going to learn that in the coming months and years. Okay. But we're Canadian. Look, we're Canadian. So when they figure it out and they come back, it's all is forgiven. We won't mention it again. And we'll be friends. We're very magnanimous people. Look, I want to say a couple words in conclusion and then have a chance to meet everyone. Almost everyone. It looks hard to meet everyone. I'll try and meet everyone. You know, I'm going to say two broad things. The first is that the Liberal Party understands the importance of a strong economy. The Liberal Party understands the importance of managing people's money carefully. My government certainly is going to focus on the second in order to deliver the first, the strongest economy in the G7. But what is distinct about the Liberal Party is not just the ability to do that, to build a strong economy, but to understand why we want a strong economy. It's not about numbers. It's not in the abstract. This is about decent jobs for everybody and bright futures for those to come. It's about having the resources to get our healthcare system back on track. I know the healthcare responsibilities are largely provincial, but it's hard for provincial governments if the economy isn't strong. It's about having enough resources for the great social programs that have been put in place over the years and been added to in recent years by Liberal government in terms of childcare for young families struggling to just get going. Childcare, we've got childcare for children. He's a little young, I guess, for that, but we do have for childcare, for dental care for those who can't afford it, for supplements to old age pensions. It's about having the resources to build a more sustainable economy and seize the future, to diversify away from our biggest trading partner. You know, we recognize as a Liberal Party we can't redistribute what we don't have. We can't build for the future if we can't manage the present. So we are going to manage the present, and we'll do more than that, and we'll build out. Last thing. You know, one of the things I've observed over time in myself, and I think sometimes in others, is we can always over-rationalize the past. You think about your own life, you think about how you end up, how did I end up here? I can rationalize how I ended up here. But a series of events and sometimes accidents and good and bad fortune that put me in front of you here. But I can tell the story of how it ended up. You over-rationalize it. I can tell a very clear story of how the Americans ended up where they are and how we are where we are. What we also do is we can over-dramatize the present. We are in a crisis, but this is not an existential crisis for Canada. Canada is so much stronger than this crisis. So we have to do things, but we will make it through. And the last thing, and this is, and it maybe comes with an extra dose because of Canadian humility, is we always underestimate the future. The future for our country is so bright, it's so strong because of Canadians. We will get through this moment. We will emerge stronger. We will leapfrog the Americans, and we will do it in a way that brings all Canadians along. Thank you very much. Vive la Canada!
Yeah, thank you. Sorry.